He entered a monastery, but when he had been a monk for 3 days he died. I went and fetched them from the monastery to keep in memory of him. If you had a disciple, I should be very glad to let you have them. That is very kind of you, said Tripitaka, but my disciple has run away, so I cannot accept them. Which way did he go? Asked the old woman. The last time I heard his voice it came from the east, said Tripitaka. That's the way that my house lies, said the old woman. I expect he'll turn up there. I've got a spell here, which I'll let you learn. If you promise not to teach it to anybody, I'll go and look for him and send him back to you. Make him wear this coat and cap. If he disobeys you, say the spell, and he'll give no more trouble, and never dare to leave you. Suddenly the old woman changed into a shaft of golden light, which disappeared towards the east. Tripitaka at once guessed that she was the Bodhisattva Kuan-ji in disguise. He bowed and burned incense towards the east. Then, having stored away the cap and coat, he sat at the roadside, practicing the spell. After Monkey left the master, he somersaulted through the clouds and landed right in the palace of the Dragon King of the Eastern Ocean. I heard recently that your penance was over, said the dragon, and made sure you would have gone back to be king in your fairy cave. That's what I am doing, said Monkey, but to start with I became a priest. A priest? Said the dragon. How did that happen? Kuan Yin persuaded me to accompany a priest of Tang, said Monkey, who was going to India to get scriptures, so I was admitted to the order. That's certainly a step in the right direction, said the dragon. I am sure to congratulate you, but in that case, what are you doing here in the East? It comes of my master being so unpractical, said Monkey. We met some brigands, and naturally I killed them. Then he started scolding me. You may imagine I wasn't going to stand that, so I left him at once, and am going back to my kingdom, but I thought I would look you up on the way and see if you could give me a cup of tea. When he had been given his cup of tea, he looked round the room and saw on the wall a picture of Chang Liang, a general who helped found the Han Dynasty, who was supposed to have had magical skills, offering the slipper. Monkey asked what it was about. You were in heaven at the time, said the dragon, and naturally would not know about it. The immortal in the picture is Huang Xin Kong, and the other figure is Chang Liang. Once, when Shi Kong was sitting on a bridge, his shoe came off and fell into the bridge. He called to Chang Liang to pick it up and bring it to him. Chang Liang did so, whereupon the immortal at once let it fall again, and Chang Liang again fetched it. This happened 3 times without Chang Liang showing the slightest sign of impatience. Huang Shi Kung then gave him a magic treatise, by means of which he defeated all the enemies of the House of Han, and became the greatest hero of the Han Dynasty. In his old age he became a disciple of the immortal Red Pine seed and achieved Tao, that is, immortality. Great sage, you must learn to have a little more patience if you hope to accompany the pilgrim to India and gain the fruits of illumination. Monkey looked thoughtful. Great sage, said the dragon, you must learn to control yourself and submit to the wills of others, if you are not to spoil all your chances. Not another word, said Monkey. I'll go back at once. On the way he met the Bodhisattva Kuan-ji. What are you doing here? She asked. The seal was removed and I got out, said Monkey, and became Tripitaka's disciple. But he said I didn't know how to behave, and I gave him the slip. But now I'm going back to look after him. Go as fast as you can, said the Bodhisattva, and try to do better this time. Master, said Monkey, when he came back and found Tripitaka sitting dejectedly by the roadside. What are you doing still sitting here, and where have you been? Asked Tripitaka. I hadn't the heart to go on, and was just sitting here waiting for you. I only went to the Dragon of the Eastern Ocean, said Monkey, to drink a cup of tea. Now, Monkey, said Tripitaka, priests must always be careful to tell the truth. You know quite well that the Dragon King lives far away in the east, and you have only been gone an hour. That's easily explained, said Monkey. I have the art of somersaulting through the clouds. One bound takes me 108,000 leagues. It seemed to me that you went off in a huff, said Tripitaka, because I had to speak rather sharply to you. It's all very well for you to go off and get tea like that, if you are able to, but I think you might remember that I can't go with you. Doesn't it occur to you that I may be thirsty and hungry too? If you are, said Monkey, I'll take a bowl and go and beg for you. There isn't any need to do that, said Tripitaka. There are some dried provisions in the pack. When Monkey opened the pack, his eye was caught by something bright. Did you bring this coat and cap with you from the east? He asked. I used to wear them when I was young, replied Tripitaka, saying the first thing that came into his head. Anyone who wears this cap can recite scriptures without having to learn them. Anyone who wears this coat can perform ceremonies without having practiced them. Dear master, said Monkey, let me put them on. By all means, said Tripitaka. Monkey put on the coat and cap, and Tripitaka pretended to be eating the dried provisions, silently mumbling the spell. My head is hurting, screamed Monkey. Tripitaka went on reciting, and Monkey rolled over on the ground, frantically trying to break the metal fillet of the cap. Fearing that he would succeed, Tripitaka stopped for a moment. Instantly the pain stopped. Monkey felt his head. The cap seemed to have taken root upon it. He took out his needle and tried to lever it up, but all in vain. Fearing once more that he would break the band, Tripitaka began to recite again. Monkey was soon writhing and turning somersaults. He grew purple in the face, and his eyes bulged out of his head. Tripitaka, unable to bear the sight of such agony, stopped reciting, and at once Monkey's head stopped hurting. You've been putting a spell upon me, he said. Nothing of the kind, said Tripitaka. I've only been reciting the scripture of the tight fillet, which a fillet is usually a strip of clothing. Or stripe. No, strip. Start reciting again, said Monkey. When he did so, the pain began at once. Stop! Stop! Screamed Monkey. Directly you begin, the pain starts. You can't pretend it's not you that is causing it. In future, will you attend to what I say? Asked Tripitaka. Indeed I will, said Monkey. And never be troublesome again? Said Tripitaka. I shouldn't dare, said Monkey. So he said, but in his heart there was still lurking a very evil intent. He took out his cudgel and rushed at Tripitaka, fully intending to strike. Much alarmed, the master began to recite again, and Monkey fell writhing upon the ground. The cudgel dropped from his hands. I give in, he cried. Is it possible, said Tripitaka, that you were going to be so wicked as to strike me? I shouldn't dare, groaned Monkey. Master, how did you come by this spell? It was taught to me by an old woman whom I met just now, said Tripitaka. Not another word, said Monkey. I know well enough who she was. It was the Bodhisattva Kuan Yin. How dare she plot against me like that? Just wait a minute while I go to the Southern Ocean and give her a taste of my stick. As it was she who taught me the spell, said Tripitaka, she can presumably use it herself. What will become of you then? Monkey saw the logic of this, and kneeling down, he said contritely, Master, the spell is too much for me. Let me go with you to India. You won't need to be always saying this spell. I will protect you faithfully to the end. Very well then, said Tripitaka. Help me onto my horse. Very crestfallen, Monkey put the luggage together, and they started off again towards the west. And that was the end of what they have for Monkey in this book. So, let's see, the next story I will get to that in the next video as soon as I figure out. I have to look up what the next story is again. So, until next time.